So, to make this even more complete and substantiated, both the virus in the environment and all its different variants, airborne or through bodily fluids, whatever, the virus and the vaccine induce autophagy, autophagy. And so even if you don't take the vaccine, you are still exposed to the virus regardless. You're going to have to experience autophagy no matter what. What is autophagy? It's the disassembling of cells, the old cells, to make room for the new cells. Now, people can call it mutated cells, but then that means that those cells were mutated by something else and it's not specific or referenced, so there's assumptions made. So we don't want to call it mutated cells. Autophagy is getting rid of the old and bringing in the new, but if you don't have what it takes to bring in the new, they're getting rid of the old and there's nothing left of you. See, that's what you people have to understand. That's why I keep saying that it's not going to matter what you do as far as not taking a vaccine or taking a vaccine. When you're exposed to a new virus in the environment, regardless of where it came from, your body's going to have to adjust and it's going to induce autophagy. The reason why people are not able to handle the virus or the vaccine is because they have malabsorption and they have so much old stuff in their body they're not releasing that it's causing, yes, imbalances, and then it's also causing the body to cannibalize the good cells in the body and potentially shut down vital organs. And so then you could say then you can comfortably say that this is a planned evolution. This is a planned cleaning up of society. Okay? Which means that every single one of you have a choice to figure out how to support this autophagic process properly. Now, obviously, why some people can handle the autophagy of being exposed to the virus or the vaccines because they have enough, and they're not doing jelly juices because they have enough of the nutrients in their body and the minerals to handle the cannibalization of their own body and even some of the food supply that they're able to absorb, but they're still on a gradual decline and eventually it'll accelerate because this campaign is not going to let up. You realize that, right? This campaign of new viruses in the environment with the vaccines and the different therapeutics, the monoclonal antibodies, all that, it's not going to let up. You are going to be forced to face so many changes in your environment. It's a forced evolution, and you are now going to have to figure out, are you going to support your body correctly and release the excess and regenerate by eating foods, complete proteins, whether it's soy and tofu, or meat, and then milk, and then cheese, and then bread, and then sugar, and then nuts, and fruits, and vegetables, and pasta, and whatever else is under the sun? Or are you going to be like one of those that are part of those avant-garde alternative therapies or mainstream therapies and therapeutize yourself out of existence? So that is what is going on. This is the scientific language, because where's the connection? What's a phage? It is a virus that invades a bacteria, and you can say invades, infects, but it's uploading data. It's now reconfiguring your DNA. But it doesn't have to be bad if you support it correctly and you're able to now release the excess, release the old, bring in the new. What's the new? When you're able to absorb the nutrients. But if you have malabsorption and you already have major predispositions and you're aging and degrading, yeah, you're going to have a hard time releasing the old and bringing in the new because you haven't brought in new in a long ass time. That's why you're aging. Someone that can constantly bring in new information, they've reversed the aging process. They've cleared their body, mind, and spirit. They're able to be organized in their thought process. People in my group are experiencing a major benefit once they get over the physical hump of having to deal with their evolution, having to release the excess. That's why there's so much benefit and testimonies with the people that are doing it. The ones that are not doing it will never have a testimony because they're too stuck in politics, religion, and science. But they haven't actually studied the science behind what causes life and what causes death, only someone's perception of it. And so a phage is a virus. Autophagy is making room for the new data. The virus is a new data. So if your body goes into an autophagic process, which is symptoms, you're supposed to release the excess and be able to handle the new building blocks of that data. And so, yes, however the virus was released, doesn't even matter. The vaccines, the virus, they're both going to induce autophagy. And again, do you have what it takes to handle the autophagic process? Forget evolution for a minute because that's too theoretical, because evolution can mean different things to different people. So let's call it what it is. It's autophagy, autophagy. No matter what, you have new information in your environment, whether it's jelly juice information or a virus. Can you handle that autophagy? Releasing the old world, releasing the old way, releasing the old belief system, and be able to take on and adapt and regenerate with the new data, the new belief system, the new world. Holy crap. Now what triggered this? Because I'm looking up how to make good transitions between, an anecdote to then information, and I'm like, trying to really just surgically put together my paper and find the best way, finding something on the internet to tell me what's a good transition from an anecdote to data, and this I'm telling you, this is so funny. This is just like, and then this is what their example was about bacteria and phage. Phages are viruses. This is like in this I'll put the website. In the wild, they are a cleanup crew that keeps bacteria from taking over the world. Bacteria reproduce relentlessly, a new generation every 20 minutes or so, and the phage kills them as rapidly as preventing the burgeoning bacteria biomass from swamping the planet like a B-movie slime monster. But phages do not kill indiscriminately. Though there are trillions in the world, each is tuned evolutionarily to destroy only particular bacteria. In 1917, a self-taught microbiologist named Félix de Herel recognized phages' talent for targeted killing. He imagined that if he could find the correct phages, he could use them to cure deadly bacterial infections. That was a gleaming hope because at the time nothing else could. Sir Alexander Fleming wouldn't find the mold that makes penicillin, the first antibiotic, until 1928. Treatments were primitive aspirin and ice baths to knock down fever, injections of crude immunotherapies extracted from blood of horses and sheep, and amputations when scratches cut let infection burgeon in a limb. So that's what I'm saying, like right there. And so this is their example of how to and so then they gave me an example. That was a gleaming hope, after they gave me the example of information, like phages are viruses, and then they went into the their anecdote or information or whatever. So the transition, that was a gleaming hope. And I'm like, phage, viruses, autophagy, malabsorption, aging. So you see how all these things are connected. This doesn't come like in a vacuum. I'm doing all my research to make sure my book and my sentence structure is so perfect, the best that I know how, based upon the information that I'm getting from the internet. And then all of a sudden, things jump out at me because of their examples. So I am going to actually copy and paste this specific thing so you can see where I got it from. Okay. And so you can see the connections. This is the aha. This is why people are not surviving the vaccines or the viruses. And it's not a freaking hoax, you guys. All right? It's not a freaking hoax, but hey, if you want to adopt that because that's your platform, then fine. But I felt the autophagic process. I've been feeling the autophagic process for the last freaking year. It's not a hoax. Not everybody anesthetize themselves and drugs themselves out of freaking whatever. I feel my evolution. I don't hide from it. So that's why I know this is not a hoax. If you are on drugs and you're doing aspirin and everything else, you'll think it's a hoax because you don't feel anything until one day your heart stops. That's not me. All right, so there you go. There's that. So that's it. You guys have a good day. This is freaking awesome. All right, bye.